live. Good luck.
Hey, thank you. I got plenty of time right at the start of the run to talk a little bit about the run, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. 3, 2, 1, go! So for Earthbound Pokey percent, the objective, the restriction on the category is that I have to beat the game, not with Ness in his pajamas. This is a fairly similar run to Pajama Percent, using same kind of stairs glitches. It's a very glitch heavy run. But instead of restricting Ness to being in his pajamas, we're just going to get rid of Ness altogether. Basically, as soon as this opening cutscene ends, I'm going to hit the reset button on my console, and Ness is just never going to rejoin the party again at that point. If you know anything about Earthbound, you know that the prophecy very, very specifically states that in order to save the world, we need... my microphone's low. I can turn my microphone up. I took my mixer to a convention and I had to redo all my audio for that, and now I have to redo it all for being at home now. But I'll start over at the top as soon as I get through this reset. Come on. There we go. So the objective for Pokey Percent is we're going to be trading in Ness right here at the start of the run. This first glitch I'm doing right here, this first stairs glitch, is going to kick Ness out of the party just a couple of minutes in. Knock on wood, I only have to do it once. But once Ness leaves the party, he is never going to rejoin the party on our main save file ever again. We might see his sprite here and there for certain cutscenes, but he's not going to be an active party member whatsoever. Let me get down these stairs first. There we go. But if you know anything about the world of Earthbound, you know that the prophecy very, very specifically states that the heroes who are going to defeat Giygas and save the universe are a group of 3 boys and a girl. So if we're going to kick Ness out, we need to find somebody else to join the party and take Ness's place as a prophesized hero. And that somebody is going to be Pokey, who is Ness's next door neighbor. He starts out as kind of a frenemy, like he's our neighbor, but we're not exactly on friendly terms. And he serves as one of the antagonists throughout most of the game. But we're going to get him before he floats over to Giygas' side. We're going to take Pokey Prime, the good aligned Pokey, off to defeat Giygas. Getting rid of Ness from the party doesn't just take out the main character. Ness usually has an important role to play for the final boss fight against Giygas, and he's also just a 4th party member I can control, because Pokey joins as a guest, so I don't actually have any control over him. So I'm trading all of that away, and in return I'm getting a party member who contributes absolutely nothing whatsoever to the speedrun. His battle script is very simply, he has one of 3 options in battle. One of the options is he hides behind Ness and waits his turn. One of the options is he cries to Ness and waits his turn. And I forget what the 3rd option is, but that also is just him wasting his turn. He's going to contribute absolutely nothing to the fight. So we're going to be basically short that one party member. Thankfully, we are still going to have Jeff around, and Jeff is still going to be our main damage dealer. But in order to keep Ness from rejoining the party, we have to change the route up quite a bit over something like Pajama Percent, where I can keep Ness around and get my party members. I can get my full party with a specific cutscene. I'm not going to be able to do that in Pokey Percent, because then Ness will rejoin the party and I'll have to kick him out. It's a very long process to kick him out, not just once, but kick him out twice. But if you're familiar with Pajama Percent, the first couple minutes of the speedrun are similar. I'm gonna get Jeff out of Winterwood. Yes, out of Snowwood Academy. I'm gonna go pick up the town map, and that's gonna be my first step. And then the routes are gonna start to change right after we get the town map, basically. If you're not familiar with Pajama Percent, the first thing I'm going to do is save my game and reset and get ready to do another stairs glitch. And I know I didn't get to spend too much time talking about it the first time I did it, but we're going to see it plenty throughout the run, so I'll have plenty of time to explain it. This is a slightly different version of a stairs glitch. I'm going to open up my save file in Summers. Gonna hop right down here to the staircase here, and game over. But I'm getting game over there very specifically while I'm a couple of steps on the staircase. It doesn't have to be right in the middle, but I have to be at least one step on the staircase. Because when you're on stairs in the world of Earthbound, Earthbound lets you walk through walls. And it lets you walk through walls until you get off of a staircase, which I didn't do. I didn't leave the staircase, I died. I can't leave a staircase if I'm dead. So as far as the game is concerned, even though I've completely changed my save files, it still thinks that I'm on that staircase in Summers, so it's letting me walk through walls regardless. So my first trip is going to be to Onett, to the library to grab the town map, which is going to let me do a little bit more while I'm out of bounds. And now I'm going to go back to Winters, and Jeff doesn't have teleport or phases stored. He doesn't have anything like that, so I'm looking for one of the sharks, and none of them are going to spawn, of course. That's cool, guys. Oh, come on. Stop falling down. Thank you. The Pokepunks also have a chance to just waste their turn. Being an earlier game enemy, I guess they don't want to throw anything too tough at you. Right. So now we've got our town map, and I can go out of bounds again. So I'm going to combine the two things to be able to go somewhere different. Because as you can see, I can go out of bounds all I want, but I'm still just walking out into the abyss here. And if it weren't for audio cues, I probably wouldn't really know where I am. So what I'm listening for right now is for the meteorite crashing near Ness's house. There it is. I'm going to open and close the map. And opening the town map makes the game check my position on the world map, see where I am, and then it loads in the graphics for wherever I happen to be. So instead of just being in the void, it loads in Ness's house and lets me walk through the hallway and go into my sister's bedroom and grab the baseball bat. And one other thing you'll notice is that usually in this part of the game, when we're gonna go check out the meteorite, enemies aren't usually around, but watching that cutscene at the start of the winners section where we meet Jeff is one of the things that actually turns on the where's the pop gun that turns on random enemy spawns. But Jeff has a pop gun, so he's gonna be able to just one-shot most of the enemies here, so I'm not gonna worry about stutter stepping or despawning these enemies, because I'm just gonna be able to plow right through them. Except for the dogs, evidently. There we go. Oh. And now we're just gonna play the prologue as normal for a couple more minutes. Just gonna go try to check out the meteorite The cops are in the way. Pokey tells us to go home. And we're gonna listen. We're just gonna go home. Wow. Thank you. Let me get to a cutscene and I can try and turn my audio up a little more. Boom, 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 boom. So some of the things that are going to work a little bit differently when Ness isn't around is Ness's mom is supposed to follow Ness, who's not here. So she just runs off the screen, desperately looking for Ness, and doesn't follow us to the other side of the room. There are a couple of cutscenes that work, well, I should say, that act differently. They don't always work differently. They just act differently because they're based on Ness's position on the screen. And him not being in the party changes that, obviously. And even though Ness is not in the party, wherever in the world he is, he's just changed out of his pajamas. So even though he's not going to be in the party, I could not count this as a pajama percent run. And it's not really about what sprite he's wearing. The issue is that I'm going to be able to save the game anywhere I want to, because I'm going to actually unlock the ability to save by calling Ness's dad. And that's the big difference. That's one of the big differences between Pokey percent and pajama percent, is the restriction on save locations. Whoops. Didn't mean to talk to King here. I'm going to step outside because that unlocks the teleport to Onett. And you have to walk outside after you get the phone call from Dad to unlock the teleport to Onett. There we go. I might have to turn my headphones down, but I can wait a second. Oh, so my split is froze on my side, which is okay because I don't think I don't have the timer on screen. But now I don't know how I'm doing. Alright, so now you got Pokey in the party. We've got half of our party built. So our next step is obviously going to be getting Pooh to join the party. Hold on. Don't walk through the doors. This might not be the... No, good. So if I open the map while I'm in that shady beat up shack, it just so happens to share a tile set with this shady shack. Excuse me, except this shady shack is in the desert. And I need to get Sunstroke on Jeff for the same reason why I have Sunstroke on my other two stairs glitch files, is I need to take critical damage at some point on my speedrun file. There are also a couple of items here in the desert that are really worth picking up. No. Oh boy. No. Look at this. I got Sunstroke early too, and I want... Do I need... Well, I'm up here now. I'm gonna grab it now. So as I was just about to say, in pajama... Oh, Lord. Come here. No. Oh, that's not... That's not ideal. Yeah. So as I was trying to say twice, At this point in the game, in Pajama Percent, you have Pooh in the party, and if you're about to run into a fight, you can have Pooh cast Teleport and just run away from the enemies. They were all over the place. Good grief. I usually don't see anything, to be honest. You don't often see too many enemies out there. If it was just one of them, I might have been able to sneak in a big bottle rocket, but not with two of them. If something else I could have done is I could save there in the shack in the desert, but I may do that this time and just not push my luck. But I cannot interact with the phone while I'm on the stairs, air quote, so I have to reset the room. Now there's going to be absolutely nothing in the desert. It's going to be completely deserted, of course, but that's okay. Oop. See, in that situation would have been a good time to really know how to stutter step, but the only Earthbound category I run is Pajama Percent, and you don't really need it for Pajama Percent, so it's not a skill I have picked up. And once I get through this section of the game, I'm not going to need it in this category either. For the most part, random encounters are not going to be a worry. See, now I got through clean, and now I don't have Sunstroke. I'll open the present. Nope. So as long as I'm walking somewhere where the sweat drops are flying off my face, I have a chance to get Sunstroke, and I'm getting really, really lucky this time, which is really, really not great for the speedrun. Guys, Jeff, buddy, Jeff. Oh my god, dude. Doing glitch heavy Earthbound runs like Pajama Percent or Pokey Percent cuts out a ton of RNG from the run, just because there's so many fewer boss fights to deal with. But this obviously, you know what? Fine. Here's what we'll do. Go back outside. I want you to keep in mind how long how long it took me to get Sunstroke here, because if I teleport through this section later, I'll be here for where are calorie sticks? I can be here for less than like 10 seconds and pick up Sunstroke just that quickly on half my party, if I'm that lucky, air quote. Let me sell my Sun Guts pill. One more calorie stick. Unfortunately, the reason why I want to get Sunstroke way earlier than that, not just to save time, but I need my hit points to go to critical before I can move on. So unfortunately, I'm going to be staring at this phone for a little bit. And that was just some very unfortunate RNG. Boom, 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 boom. Whoops, sorry. I'm trying to reopen live split on my side so I can keep track of my split names. There we go. Save, reset. Just so I can see make sure I'm going the right way. Because it's really, really bad if I forget which category I'm on and start doing pajama percent, routing on Pokey percent. It's gonna fall apart very, very quickly. Boom, 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 boom. Ooh. Hit the mic stand. So I'm doing the same glitch I did right at the start of the run. I'm going to use my 3D file to go out of bounds here, and also to move myself to that room in 3D, the underground area in 3D. Alright, let me heal myself so I don't actually fall unconscious. Now, the reason why I'm able to walk out of bounds here is the dialogue box that's telling me I'm about to game over. Interrupts the long chain of events of things that happen when you step on a staircase in Earthbound. Staircases in this game are very, very complicated and very prone to glitching. And getting the dialogue box when I did skips over the part where the game tries to lock me onto the railway so I can only move up and down the stairs. So I get the out of bounds part of being on stairs, but I keep my freedom of movement. And I'm coming all the way up here to the Tuesday department store for a cute and fuzzy little teddy bear. Almost $200 for this teddy bear. And man, oh man, that is a lot of money for a teddy bear. But it's gonna help me out on the first boss fight against Master Barf here in a couple of minutes. Boom, 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 boom. Just gotta go out of bounds one more time here before we get to him. Or I guess before we get to Deep Darkness. What the teddy bear does in combat is it has a 70% chance to take an attack in place of a party member, a single target attack, which is really nice because Jeff is he's not level 1 because I ran into a couple of fights, but he has maybe 35 hit points. It's not a lot of hit points at all, and he's the only valid target for the boss to hit. So if he deals a high damage move, it's definitely going to hit me, and it's definitely going to one-shot me. So bringing the teddy bear along means I have a 70% chance of not dying on the first turn from that attack. What usually ends up happening is I bring the teddy bear along, and my RNG is so good that I don't end up needing the teddy bear, and I just waste $200. But if I don't bring the teddy bear along, I could be stuck at that boss fight for a very long time, waiting for that good RNG. Calorie stick. Oh. One reason why we have dedicate one of our save files to that staircase in 3 isn't just because it's close to the save location. The tile set, the graphics that the game needs for that underground room in 3 happen to be the same graphics that it uses for for Dungeon Man, which is where I'm headed to next, and also for the Starman Base. Neither of those places are on the town map, so without the soundstone, it's hard for me to get there even with stairs glitches, without somehow manipulating what graphics the game is loading in. I lost count. 9. Let me try and get down both of these drops. Then I'll heal up. Boom. I'm gonna be careful of random encounters here, because I haven't turned them off yet, and I definitely will get demolished if I get into a fight. Hey, 22-minute gold split, because I forgot the timer reset. There we go. So if that stairs glitch in 3D only goes like half right, it'll move you to the staircase in 3D, and it'll look like everything's working fine. Right up until you get to the submarine, and at some point in this cutscene, the game teleports the submarine to that staircase in 3D, which immediately freezes the game. But since we got out of the purple water there, I know we're okay. No soft lock today. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to bother to stay the night here so that Jeff can repair the broken spray can overnight. My money route on this category is very, very tight, especially at the start of the run, because I don't have the ATM card. When you defeat enemies in this game, you don't find money. Ness's dad deposits money into Ness's bank account, and we don't have Ness, and we don't have the ATM card. So getting money is a much bigger task because of that. So just staying the night to get my fix my defense spray gives me a little bit extra cash at the start of the run. I did not necessarily hit that button yet. Where's Talisman Ribbon? Boom, 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 boom. I think we got everything. Alright, and I'm gonna go right back over to the left side of the screen. And if we had access to this save point in Pajama Percent, it'd be such a nice time save. But in Pokey Percent, it's a good time save because I can save here and be able to skip literally all of Deep Darkness. We're not going to go into the deep or the dark of Deep Darkness whatsoever. I'm gonna go out of bounds here and skip right to the end of the section, which is really, really nice. But it also means that I can't get to a couple of items here in the Deep Darkness. I can't get a couple life noodles, which means I'm gonna have pick up exactly 0 resurrection items throughout the course of this category. And I also miss... Oh, I can't remember what the name of the item is, but there's an item that sells for quite a bit of cash that I wish I could get, but it's very, very out of the way. And it's just not worth the time it adds to the run to pick it up. So yeah, we go out of bounds, and I don't have to walk, I don't have to go very far out of bounds. The reason why the graphics in this part of the map look so goofy is the game is expecting me to use an item called the Hawkeye so that I can see into darkness, and then it reveals all of those obscured covered tiles, if you will. But since I haven't used the Hawkeye, all of these, everything that's supposed to be covered in darkness is still covered in darkness. So it looks a little bit funny on the back end of the map. But it's all passable terrain still. It acts like it should if I could see it. I'm going to save the game here, and I'm not going to go out of bounds. I'm just going to save the game because I know this boss fight's kind of a pain in the butt. And there's a pretty long setup between the last time I saved and getting to the boss fight, so I don't want to have to go out of bounds again if the boss fight goes bad or mash through that text outside. I should have picked that up before I saved. I'm gonna be missing that death ray later if this boss fight doesn't go well, and I'm gonna be really confused. Ew. That's a lot of enemies outside. Boom, 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 plenty of health to get there. But we're skipping through, we're getting to the boss fight in Deep Darkness, and we're just going there from the wrong side. So it's not a very long trip into the muck here. And I'm not going to bother to heal, because he's just going to, if he deals damage to me, he's going to one-shot me, if he doesn't hit the teddy bear. I also really don't want to get nausea here. I want to stick with Sunstroke instead of nausea. Nausea completely changes the timing for stairs glitches for the rest of the run. Not a good enough damage roll. I need a little bit more damage off my multi-bottle rocket. That I didn't get it, and then he just killed me on a second turn. My teddy bear did its job though, but usually that happens at least once. See, told you. I usually, especially when I'm in a marathon, the first attempt at that fight goes completely sideways. Usually he just kills me on the first turn, so him letting me get one turn out was pretty generous. Now, if you're wondering, I could, in fact, I didn't have enough cash too. Hold on, let me. Oh Lord, I think you need to go north now. There we go. I could buy 2 teddy bears, but only one is active at a time. Unfortunately, that doesn't double my chances of blocking the attack. And even if I had 2 teddy bears and the first teddy bear blocked on the first turn, the second teddy bear may not block on the second turn. So usually 1 teddy bear is enough. And I'd rather hold on to that cash for an extra super bomb. I don't have to heal up here. I don't think so. The enemy spawns. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Come on. Alright, now hit my teddy bear again. Boom. There we go. So that was no damage to anybody, so that's a good turn. That was a bad damage roll again. That's my teddy bear getting crushed. I need a good damage roll off that multi-bottle rocket. These are really bad damage rolls today. Boom, 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 boom. If you don't get through this time, I might resave my file and try again, because normally after the first reset, if I can just walk out the door and walk right to the boss, usually the RNG lines up right. Don't have to worry about resetting more than that. Wow. Okay. That armored fish came out of nowhere. Yeah, let me grab this death ray and resave my file. Because if we don't do it, I don't do it for this category just because it's way more work than it's going to be worth for this shorter category. Despite all evidence to the contrary right now. But you can manipulate the RNG in Earthbound. I mean, it's a very complicated process. There are lots of things that go into manipulating it, but just generally speaking, if I can walk out of here without bonking too much, and I don't see any enemy spawns between here and the boss fight, that usually means I get through the boss fight. It could also just make a total liar out of me right now, but we'll see. Now once I get through this boss fight, RNG becomes a much smaller issue. Just the first boss fight being at level 1, I kind of need everything to break my way on this fight. So once I get past here, it'll loosen up quite a bit, and I won't need such perfect RNG. Teddy bear is toast. Big damage, big damage, big damage. Not big enough. That's okay. There we go. So clearing this boss fight, even in a casual playthrough, this is where Pooh would rejoin your party. He left a long time ago at this point to go learn Starstorm, and he comes back just in time to save you in this boss fight. So now I've got a good 2 minutes of leveling up to do. The nice thing is that Pooh doesn't learn teleport in that cutscene where he normally learns teleport. He learns it just by gaining regular EXP, which is good because he's going to learn teleport here right after this fight. And I haven't healed Sunstroke on Jeff yet. Rather, even if I could, I wouldn't have done it yet because I need to do one more stairs glitch in 3. Which, if you look at Jeff's hit points, that means I need to get him back down to critical hit points. And he just gained a ton of levels and a ton of hit points. So I'm going to pick up some skip sandwiches on my next shopping trip, but I'm not going to use them all right away, because if I move too fast, Jeff won't lose enough hit points, and it'll just cost me more time in the end. So it's a weird situation where going fast is just going to make me go slower. I just need to move out of this area and get myself to a safe teleporting location. But now we've got 3 of our party members. Jeff, Pooh, and Pokey, just as intended. Where am I going? I'm going to Winters. Whoosh! Did I pick up anything to sell? I did. I picked up my Death Ray. One. I think I need one more inventory spot. Yep. There we go. Yep. So I don't need to use the 3'd file yet. So we're gonna have Sunstroke for a little bit longer, unfortunately. Yeah, but that also means I have plenty of time to siphon off some of Jeff's hit points. So hopefully I won't be just staring at a phone for too long. So we have one more party member to pick up before we move on too much further into the game, and that of course is going to be Paula, who is our new party leader. So we're gonna head to the Happy Happy Village to go find Paula. And I don't know how much I really explained this out earlier. Go away, crows. But there's a flag, an on-off switch, if you will, that controls whether or not enemies randomly spawn. And going into the cabin and getting the Franklin badge turns that switch off. So right now, random enemies will not spawn. and they won't start spawning again until I fight Evil Pokey outside the cabin here and beat him. But the game doesn't expect you to have teleport at this point, so we're just gonna leave. Bye. See you later. And just like that, we have turned off random enemy encounters until I watch certain cutscenes. Certain specific cutscenes will turn that switch back on, including the one, including the submarine that takes me to deep darkness, which is why I go and get Pooh first rather than getting Paula first. Getting Paula first would make that boss fight much easier, but it would also mean I have to deal with random encounters, and that's not fun. Also means I have to do a little bit of backtracking right here, but it saves so much time in the long run that it makes it worth it. So this is by far my longest trip out of bounds, and where I actually want to go is the Carpenter's headquarters, which is exactly one room north of the Winter's Drugstore that I just left. Like, they're literally right next to each other on the world map. But it's not on the town map, so I don't have any way to walk there and make the room appear. So I'm gonna walk all the way down here. I'm gonna start mashing my map button now. And when I'm able to open the map, I'm going to change directions. There we go. Load this purple room. I'm going to go right back to where I just started. If I hit the angle right, you'll actually be able to hear the Winter's Drugstore theme play all over again. You'll hear all the same music in reverse. But that purple room is the same kind of purple room that is used in Happy Happy Village in the headquarters, which means if I can manage to get up there without opening up my map, I'll be able to skip all the little minion fights and go right to Carpenter for the actual boss fight. See, there's Summers again. Boom, 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 boom. There's the Winter's Drugstore. Blue. I think I have a controller. Whoa. Oh. I was hoping for the one shot. There we go. So now we can go free Paula, and then we'll have our full party, all 4 heroes. Paula, Jeff, Pooh, and Pokey, just as the toy intended, of course. If you really wanted to, you can actually beat the game with just Paula and Pooh. That takes a vastly different route, obviously, because you can't pick up Jeff at all, and that changes all of your battle strategies. It's a much longer category because of it, because it's very, very hard to get Pooh free from the very short amount of time he plays solo. But if you really wanted to, you could play the game that way. But if you're not familiar with the game, this is not gonna make sense. But in order to do that, you'd have to start the Pooh sequence where Pooh's supposed to go finish his training. And instead of going to finish his training, you actually take him out of bounds all the way to the Lost Underworld, which is very, very near the end of the game. And if you can get him over there, you can save your game and then hope for really good RNG, because you have to level up a little bit there in order to teleport out. He has to go one-on-one against a dinosaur and win, which is just as difficult as it might sound. Deep darkness. I can't go to winners because I don't have the ATM card. Oh, Jeff's pretty close to critical hit points too. So to make up for the fact that I don't have the ATM card, that doesn't mean I don't get access to any of the money I earn in combat. I do get access to some of it. I just, I have to pay this guy right here, this very shady dude. He's a cash dispenser man. 1-8. Now, since I withdrew $1,800, I have to pay cash dispenser man $1,800. So I'm going to get access to exactly half of the money that I earn through combat in this category. All because I don't have the ATM card. I don't know if I picked up anything. Nope. Okay. I have enough room for 2 bombs. If I end up needing both of these bombs, that's probably trouble, but not having them is going to be more trouble. Yeah, I just want to make sure I put the multi-bottle rocket on the right character. Wow, and Jeff's still not at critical, huh? So we're gonna... There it is. That's what I needed to see. Boom, boom, boom. Save. Reset. Now, hopefully, this will be the last time I need to load my 3D save file. Which is good, because this is by far the harder version of the stairs glitches. There's just a lot more that can go wrong. I can go too fast, I can go too slow. This bus stop sign could just murder me. There used to be a tree. The walking paths used to be different, and there was a tree that would just grab you every single time, it felt like. At least for me. But thankfully that's not part of the run anymore. That looked too fast. That looked too fast. But I'm gonna try it and see anyway. Yeah, see, it took longer to load in my save file there, so I knew it was loading in deep darkness. So I knew that did in fact go too fast. But the next boss fight is going to be against Starman DX in the Starman Base, which is way easier in this category, because Jeff actually has some EXP. He's not level 1, he has more than 30 hit points, so he's at least going to get 1 turn off no matter what. He should get 2 turns off if I need him, but he should at least get his first turn off. So if Starman decides, if he decides to open up this fight with Starstorm, it may still kill everybody, but it may not matter. I should be able to finish the fight regardless. Boom. A little bit more. There it is. But these type using stairs glitches means getting very used to the weird medley of music that you hear. If music doesn't change at the right time, if it changes too late or too early, I know how to fix my movement. I know that I've moved incorrectly and how to fix it at that point. Alright, now I said this fight should be pretty easy, so if you end up losing this first, I'm going to feel really bad, but we should be okay. It's a bottle rocket. Why couldn't I get that luck earlier today? There we go. Oops. I was holding down my split button instead of my turbo button. One of the nicest things, I don't know who it was in the Earthbound community. I don't know who I need to thank for this, but the Pajama Percent community got together and said, look, there's a lot of text in this game. Why don't we just allow turbo controllers? And they voted yes. We're allowed to use turbo controllers. I don't know who I need to thank for that, but thank you so much. Because this level up text is brutal. I still maintain that, technically speaking, the fastest way to get through this game, the technical speed strat, would be to have almost all of your party members dead for almost every boss fight. Just that is how much text you would save. But you'd have to plan it out properly because you do need Paula to hit a certain level and need Jeff to hit a certain level in order for them to be effective against Giygas. Pooh and Ness, they don't matter. If they're level 1 at the end of the game, it's not the biggest deal in the world. How many categories allow turbo controls? I think it's just Pajama Percent, and since I'm the only one who runs this and I run Pajama Percent, I use it for this too. But I think it's just Pajama Percent that allows turbo controllers, because your mash speed would kind of matter for any percent glitchless, for RNG manipulation. Whoops. No, I think I only have to talk to one of them, but I talked to the wrong one. I talked to the one I don't usually talk to, and I'm not going to risk... In a marathon setting, I'm not going to risk losing my run an hour from now by not talking to the right person. But I'm pretty sure Turbo Control would be banned in any percent glitchless, because mashing B is used for RNG manipulation, and it would either let you mash faster for that, but honestly, it would also just kind of screw up your RNG manipulation if you're not careful. But I don't know, because I only run Pajama Percent. So if it's not in that very narrow spectrum of Earthbound speedrunning, I don't know for sure. What's next? Oh, we're going to Onett. Oh, sugar. I thought it was down a little bit more. And I've still got my teddy bear. Look at that cute little teddy bear. The grumpy look on his face. I mean, I'd be pretty grumpy too. So there's the book of overcoming shyness. So our next trip is going to be to the Tenda village. The Tenda are a tribe of very, very cute, adorable little creatures. They're super cute, and they really, really, really want to help us save the world. They really do. They want to help us be heroes. But they're very, very shy creatures, and we have to help them overcome their shyness so that they're ready to help us in our fight against Giygas. Book can fix shyness. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. This is the one picture that we get taken in this category. And I know we're not exactly on schedule. Otherwise, I would show this off after the run. But I can go ahead and tell you, the game keeps track of exactly who is in your party for these pictures and whether or not they're, alive or unconscious. And that includes whether or not Ness is in the party. Normally, there's no way for you to get this picture taken, excuse me, if Ness isn't in the party. But the game's ready for that. So if you were to actually roll the credits and watch the photo album at the end, Ness would not be in any of the photos. The teddy bear would be, and even Pokey would be, but not Ness. It's just funny that the game can kind of handle that appropriately. Because there's lots of things that the game cannot handle appropriately if Ness isn't around. But the photo album does just fine. Now, normally I'd burn a skip sandwich here, but I don't have as much money as I would like in this category, so I'm going to save them for Magicant later on. Oh my goodness, get around the corner. Also, as it turns out, Ness needs to be alive in order for you to fight the bosses at these sanctuaries, but he doesn't need to be in the party, which is really weird. Wherever Ness is, he has 30 of 30 hit points, so he's alive, which means I can fight Electrospectre here. If Ness was in the party but had 0 hit points, I wouldn't be able to fight Electrospectre. Go figure. I don't know how that works out, but that's how it works. Let me give this rabbit's foot to Jeff. The rabbit's foot's going to give him a huge speed boost. So not only is he going to be... you know what? I don't think I did a shopping trip. I did not. I forgot to go pick it. Oh no, I got a multi-bottle rocket. Okay. I thought I forgot to do a shopping trip. Not only is he going to use his bombs earlier in battle, the higher speed stat makes his bombs deal more damage. What am I doing? He doesn't have a super bomb. I'm doing nothing with him. Good deal. Oh, whoop. I would have Pooh use PK Freeze here, but this boss spawns with a shield that reflects psychic ability damage. So I either have to take the shield down or wait for the boss to take the shield down before I do that. If I did forget to go shopping here, this boss doesn't have enough hit points for that to be a huge deal. It would definitely take longer, but I'd be able to win the fight regardless. I wouldn't be too worried about that. We got a nice little input break here. I'm Pokey. In case you weren't here at the start of the run, I named Ness Pokey, so that's why it did that. It doesn't do that because Pokey's in the party. But, Star Fox is a tough speedrun, I imagine. Star Fox and the Super Nintendo. I don't think I've ever played it on the Super Nintendo. I've played it in WarioWare Smooth Moves. That's the limit of my Super Nintendo Star Fox knowledge. Boom, boom, boom. I think it is on rails, kind of like an auto-scroller, but you can control the speed of the rails, and you do you still have to beat the bosses quickly. They're good speedruns. They're very tough though. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, so we're in the Underworld now, and the enemies you fight in the Underworld are literally dinosaurs. They're dinosaur-sized dinosaurs, which is why the game will shrink down your party, at least the sprites of your party, so that you can be in scale with the dinosaurs. Pokey, of course, is not meant to be here, so there is no Pokey sprite for the Underworld. So he's just literally dinosaur-sized for this part of the game. And whoosh, just like that, we are done here. So that's the end of dinosaur-sized Pokey, unfortunately. You can shoot the gap there sometimes. Yes, 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 you're going to take all my money, I know. Don't sell that sea pendant. Oh man, I'd be so far ahead of my money route if I sold that sea pendant, and then I would just lose to Giygas constantly. Let's not do that. In fact, before I forget, I'm just going to equip it. I've actually got all the gear I need for the whole speedrun already, so I'm just going to go ahead and make sure everybody's got what they need. Franklin, sea pendant, yep, okay, good. I should say gear as far as like things you equip. I do need more multi-bottle rockets. So that's for Ness's Nightmare. This is for the Kraken. I wonder if I can finish my shopping here. It depends on my cash flow. 3. Boom, boom, boom. I think I'm gonna have to come back, unfortunately. No, I want him to have that cracked bat. I mean, I want him to have that super bomb, actually. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I'm not gonna have enough cash. I'm gonna have to come back and do some more shopping. Which is normal. I don't normally have enough cash here. But sometimes if I, accidentally duplicate a multi-bottle rocket or something, I'll have enough cash to finish shopping here, but usually I've got to make another trip in this category. Off to Winters. Yep, Paula, Jeff, Pooh, and Pokey, and I'm not going out of bounds here. I gotta go to the tent. Go for it, bad boy. Alright, come on. I'm meant to go save in the tent. If I want to, I could also bring MyOhMyke along. It would take some time at this point, so I don't necessarily want to burn the time doing it, because I know we're not. It's not like we're wildly ahead of schedule. But I could bring Picky and Buzz along. The Flying Men can also come along to the Giygas fight, as well as... Who am I thinking of? Who was I just thinking of? Oh, shoot. Oh, I think I'm thinking of MyOhMyke. I already said MyOhMyke. I don't think you can bring King, the dog, along. You can't bring King along if you want to bring Buzz and Picky, is what I'm thinking of. But bringing Bubble Monkey along is fun because I don't know what it is, but he just likes going to town on critting Giygas. And he crits for exactly 1 point of damage, but oh my goodness, he crits so much on Giygas. Like, he and Giygas have a beef or something, and Bubble Monkey will just tear into Giygas for 1 point of and Picky is what I'm thinking of. But bringing Bubble Monkey along is fun because I don't know what it is, but he just likes going to town on critting Giygas. And he crits for exactly 1 point of damage, but oh my goodness, he crits so much. Rockets. So I'm not worried about Krakens, I'm not worried about Ness's Nightmare. I'm just going to be able to mow through everything with my multi-bottle rockets. Which makes this part of the game way, way less scary. Especially if you're playing casually for the first time in Earthbound, you get to this section of the game. If you're not ready for it, you could be stuck here for a while. I've still got my teddy bear. And no joke, if I still have my teddy bear for Giygas, I'm gonna throw my teddy bear out. Because having a teddy bear for Giygas, in the speedrun at least, it's gonna make the speedrun strategies much harder to pull off. Just because of the way rolling hit points work. Oh my gosh. Did I skip the... Oh my gosh, I skipped the first Kraken. Wow. He just stayed in the little corner for me. And you're just gonna stay right here in the middle, huh? Yeah. Nope, you're gonna wander... Oh, wow. Nope. Alright, you're gonna be the one. But that's okay, because I have one extra multi-bottle rocket with your name on it, buddy. As long as I use the right character to throw it. Boom. So normally I end up fighting that first Kraken, because he just doesn't behave. And he just sits there right in your face and he'll just chase you down. But he wandered off to the corner. This is probably going to be a gold Magicant split, which is unfortunate because my timer's not running. Woe is me. Can we bring Dungeon Man? I've been figuring out how to bring Dungeon Man. Because honestly, it's been so long since I played this game regularly. I don't remember how to get him in the party. I assume that you can. It would just be a very roundabout process to do it. Unfortunately, at least in the course of doing it in a Pokey percent speedrun. Because when I offered this for like charity events as one of the incentives will be to bring along all the guest party members, and tacking Dungeon Man as one of the possible characters would be a big time difference for a speedrun. I think I haven't really plotted it all out yet, but yeah, theoretically you could bring Dungeon Man and he'd his big old sprite would just follow you around all the way to Giygas, and he would be active in the Giygas fight. Also, Ness gained 200,000 EXP, and he's still trapped in that basement in 3, so he's level 1. Yeah. So he's about to learn Teleport, but I've got 35 levels of text to mash through here. 12. Trying to think of who else joins your party temporarily in this game. It might be the whole list. Five more levels, 4 more levels. Ness is programmed specifically to learn teleport A and B at the end of this cutscene. Or at least teleport B. I didn't see him learn teleport A. But regardless of what level he ends at, he learns teleport in this cutscene. Even though he's not here. Sorry, that bottle snapped right in the microphone. I'm so sorry. So very, very, very important here. Very important that I learn the teleport to Saturn Valley. Because I'm about to teleport to Saturn Valley. But that's not how you learn to teleport to Saturn Valley. Because I'm gonna totally do it right here. Just watch. See? Run the circle. Whoosh. Whoosh. We're in Saturn Valley, right? But I don't know the teleport to Saturn Valley. I have to do something else to learn that teleport. And I'm gonna keep talking to myself like this because if I forget to learn this teleport, that's at least a 7-minute time save, and I think it's much longer. It's been a while since I've had to do it, thankfully, so I don't remember how long it is. Yes, Eureka! The worst thing you could possibly do at this point is forget to learn to teleport to Saturn Valley. And it's very, very easy to do. You just have to walk in through this entrance. Just like that. That's all you have to do. You see, there it is, Saturn Valley. But I need to go to Onett to get the piece of the meteorite. So obviously I'm going to teleport to the Tenda Village. Also, watching the cutscene after Magicant, where we teleport to Saturn Valley, that cutscene turns on random enemy spawns. So, yes, there are aliens and all sorts of evil creatures in Onett waiting to kill me, and they definitely can, because I'm still underleveled for that fight, for sure. But I'm still not going to have to worry about it. It's not going to be a big deal. Because you cannot get into, you can't get into random encounters while you're on stairs. So what we're gonna do is get ourselves on a flight of stairs here. Boom. Almost hit the wrong button. Thought about hitting the wrong button. Thought really hard about hitting the wrong button. So now that we're out of bounds and on stairs, there's Onett. Huzzah! And I can march right on over and get the meteorite. Let's see. Can't touch me. Neener, neener, neener. Nope, nope, nope. You can keep running into me, buddy. It don't matter. Need to go shopping. Almost forgot to go shopping. Pokey is forever sleeping. Now, it's really weird. I can interact with the meteorite during a stairs glitch, but I can't interact with Pokey, and I can't start the cutscene with Buzz. For whatever reason, some things you can interact with, some things you can't. And I'm not sure why they work differently. Oh, wow. I keep thinking that's Deep Darkness on the bottom of the list, and it's not. But that's why I keep teleporting to Underworld. I keep thinking I'm teleporting to Deep Darkness. Just in case I actually finish the teleport, I don't want to go super far away. Oh wow, he's got 2 already. I didn't realize he had so many. So I'm going to burn the rest of my cash on super bonds for Paula. There's a very good chance that part of this Giygas fight's going to be Paula and Giygas 1v1. So I want her to be as well equipped as possible for that eventuality. Oop. Oh, sugar. Okay. Now we can, that mole's gonna be right in the way. Now we can go to Saturn Valley. Where is it? There it is. Oh, and I have to get rid of this teddy bear. You know what? I'll keep it. I'll keep the teddy bear around for the first fight, but if the teddy bear gets me killed, we're gonna have to get rid of him. The reason why the teddy bear's not helpful in the Giygas fight is if I get in trouble, it's because all my party members are about to hit 0. And Earthbound uses a rolling hit point feature. If you watch the health bars go up and down, they don't immediately take all the damage. The game will tick my hit points down and up one at a time. So even if they're about to be knocked out and hit 0 hit points, if I can get to their turn before they hit 0 hit points, they still take their action in combat. And bringing a teddy bear along is a problem, because that's more text I have to mash through in combat to get to a player's turn, to a character's turn. And sometimes it's very, very close, especially in this category. Whether or not I get an ability off that I need to cast or a bomb I need to throw. But we'll bring the teddy bear along. I'd feel bad just leaving him, abandoning him on the ground somewhere for no good reason. Oops. $11. Clearly, 1 + 1 is 11. Or it's not an H. It's what would that be? Yes, I accept this. Let me go. Oh yeah, it's definitely a window. That's what I was thinking of. Got one more trip out of bounds to take, and that's gonna get me from this point to the Giygas fight without having to worry about random encounters. Why isn't Pokey being put into a robot? Maybe he doesn't have a soul and it doesn't matter in this case. I think I went way too far into that text box, but that's okay. Alright. Last trip out of bounds. So if you get to this point in the game and you're stuck, you need more items, you need to go shopping, something like that, you can use a stairs glitch, and I think if you walk south or east just a little bit, it puts you in Saturn Valley and it puts you somewhere you can use your town map and you can escape that way and go do your shopping, but coming back's a little more difficult. Because I think you have to watch the Phase Distorter cutscene again, which might cause a soft block. So you would need to still have the Sound Stone, I think, in order to get back here. That or no, there's another way to get here without the Sound Stone. I just can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But you can do it. You can leave and come back if you really, really wanted to. Alright, so there are 3 phases to this Giygas fight, and if I can get through this first phase of the fight and everybody's alive, I'm gonna feel really good about finishing the run. This first phase is by far the biggest barrier between me and the end of the game right now. I need Paula to get this shield spell off to block all of Giygas' damage. I need Jeff to get good damage rolls on Pokey, and I need Pooh to contribute something. Pooh can resurrect Paula or Jeff if I need him to, but the spell only has a 20% chance to do that. That is the wrong spell. That is the very high damage dealing spell, unfortunately. And Pokey's gotta take damage, and Taber's gotta take damage. And I think Jeff survived with 1 hit point. He must have gut saved. I'm gonna see if I can pull this back in. But I didn't get, I didn't get my shield off. No, I'm not gonna be able to pull this off. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Don't think I'll be able to bring this back in. Oh yeah, because Jeff has Jeff doesn't have life noodles at this point. But yeah, Giygas fight can end just like that. That is not that unusual at all for Giygas. I need to get through this first turn. If we get through the first turn, it's gonna be good. It'll be just fine. Now, what I could do is, what I sometimes do, I may do it here too, is Jeff has a boiled egg in his inventory, and I may have him use that boiled egg on Paula, because I know Jeff's going to be my party member is going to go first. So if he can keep Paula alive and Paula can get the shield spell off, the next couple of turns will be a lot easier to get through. The problem with that strategy is that it adds an extra turn to the fight at least, because I don't start dealing damage until my second turn, which is problematic. I need to get through this first phase of the fight. in order to get to safety. But I may throw that boiled egg over at Paula and play this first turn a little more defensively this time. And then it may not matter because I forget to drop my teddy bear. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But getting through this first turn is the most important, the toughest part of the fight. If everybody can survive this first turn, I have a lot of options on what to do after that. Boiled egg on Paula, and we'll life up Jeff. And he used the weaker spell, so all this is just a wasted turn. That's okay. It always works out like that. What are you gonna do? Got my shield up, so now all of the PK attacks that Giygas will be throwing out are going to be blocked entirely. Pokey can still tear into my party members and deal pretty nice damage. And normally I'd have Ness try to paralyze Pokey, but Ness obviously isn't here. So it'd be nice if he blew up the teddy bear instead. That was a decent damage roll. Oh, and he did hit the teddy bear. Rip the teddy bear, but I'll definitely take that. Nice! Alright. Now see, if I knew I would have survived that first turn, if I knew he was casting the weaker spell, I would have been finished a whole turn ago. But we got through. We're through phase 1. So from phase 2 onward, it's just us versus Giygas. Pokey goes away. Giygas has 3 attacks at this point. One of those attacks is a lightning attack, and Paula is safe from that with the Franklin badge. One of those attacks is PK Flash. PK Flash is a party-wide attack that deals various stats effects. Anything from confusing my party members to making them cry to just one-shot killing them, which is fantastic, of course. But Paula's also safe from that. My other party members are not, but Paula will be safe from PK Flash. The third attack is I don't remember what the damage type is, but Paula's mostly safe from that because of the C pendant, and it just has a chance to make her lose a turn, which is also unfortunate. But all that's just a long roundabout way of saying Paula is very, very safe at this point in the fight, and she's also the only party member I'm really worried about. I need Paula to be alive to finish the game. She's the only one who can finish off Giygas. Jeff and Pooh at this point are wasting time and literally wasting frames, having to mash through their menu and mash through their text. If they would just kind of, leave, that'd be great. I think Pooh's about to hit 0 hit points. Oh no, he got saved. He got saved by the cutscene, I think. Oh no, now his hit points are ticking down. Yeah, Jeff got me here, but he can't carry me the rest of the way, unfortunately. So this cutscene right here is important, because if you screw up something in story progression, this is the cutscene that will soft lock. You'll get through the entire game just fine. Then this cutscene plays, the Mr. Saturn walks off the screen, he never comes back, and your save file, I think at that point, is just permanently broken. But he came back, got through the cutscene, no soft lock, be able to finish a run today without having to cheat. That's good. Boom. Whoops. Pray. If you are brand new to the game, welcome to the end of Earthbound, first off. But secondly, the final part of the boss fight here can only be defeated by having Paula use her pray command for 9 turns in a row. Well, doesn't have to be in a row, but for 9 turns. And every time we pray, Paula prays for help and energy, if you will, from all the people and friends that we've met along our grand adventure, including the Runaway 5, who we totally skip in this speedrun. But that's the last bit of the battle here, is Paula's hit point count versus Giygas. The one move that Giygas has that damages her for like 8 to 15 points per turn when he uses that ability. I'm pretty sure I've still got a dinner roll in Paula's inventory if I need to heal her. Pokey used Pokey as a shield. Oh, and Jeff is about to, Jeff's gonna swing a guy, I guess. Yep. Who's next? Oh, back to Snowwood Academy. For Tony, Jeff's classmate Tony, and all his friends back at the academy. Pokey thought to himself, oh, I keep forgetting Jeff's still alive. So I think this is turn 5. We got 4 more after this one. Back in Dalam with Pooh's family, praying for the well-being of the Crown Prince of Dalam. Oy, oy, oy. Poor Jeff is just gonna keep swinging away. Not anymore. Poor Jeff. I find it really interesting that they kept the pray command intact in this game, because it came out, if I remember correctly, this came out about the same time that that Final Fantasy II US, Final Fantasy IV came out in North America. And they censored all the praying out of that game, but Earthbound got through a-okay. And I may be misremembering my dates. It's been a while since I got interested enough to look into it, but Nintendo censored so much back in the day. It's just really interesting to me that this got through without getting edited in any way. Yeah, they censored the bar into a cafe. Which, I mean, I guess you don't want kids going to a bar. I guess I get that. But they censor prayer out of, like, other titles. But for this title, that's much more modern. Or rather, in a much more modern setting. They left it just fine. They deemed it was just fine, rather. yeah, the crow doesn't smoke in the North American version of this game. And Ness is wearing his pajamas in Magicant in the US version. He's in his birthday suit in the Japanese version in Mother 2. Alright, this should be the last turn. Nope. I have no timer to stop, so we want to get ready on time if we can. If I don't lose a turn here. Time, right there. My timer says 47 minutes 52 seconds, which is a solid that's like a 45-minute world record for me. So I'll take my time, but I'd be interested to know what the actual time is, because my timer stopped twice on me. $135, I'll take that. That's not bad at all. It's not bad at all, considering I got really stuck on the Barf fight for so long for no good reason. But yeah, I'm gonna talk very loudly over this large part of the cutscene. But thank you very much for inviting me to be part of this event. I'm gonna turn the game down a little bit. Because I do not want to take up too much time. I know we have many other runs on the schedule we need to get to, and I know we are, as always with these live events, we are very pressed for time. But thank you for staying, watching the run, cheering me on in chat, asking questions. You guys are just as much a part of having a good marathon run as anything else. So thank you very much in chat for being supportive and positive, as always. And I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get some rest. Thank you very much for coming by, and enjoy the rest of the event.